Hey, my fellow Joy directors. I thought some of you guys might be able to jump on with me, but if not, here I am. I'm going to practice doing my stuff by myself. So here we go. I hear some of you guys would like some of these sashes. So yes, I had to laugh. It's like, oh, I should put one of these on. So I had to grab one. And it's like, oh yeah, 26. So yes, actually, I'm making a pillow. I've cut them anyway. So a couple things that I do. You were asking, I know this kind of all started about, do I do stuff in my customer app or do I have paper? I try to avoid having as much paper as possible. I am already a pile filer. So whatever I can do to introduce less paper in my universe, I find very, 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 very helpful. I did talk to corporate this morning. So I guess I'm going to also say, will you call them, say the exact same thing, or when we go to seminars, say it there too, that currently, no, we cannot create a report that has our notes. We can do lots of fun reports, and I'll talk about some of them, but the reports to save our notes, like her grandmother, her granddaughter's name, all the stuff that we put in a note. And I know Tara says that she uses way more, uses that more, and she was concerned about that. As of this moment, no, we cannot get a report like that. So to lose the terminology that I used and why it's important. I said, well, I want to have access so that if my internet or you all go down, I still have access to my customers. That is why I want to be able to, I don't want to have to back it up every day, but I would like to be able to have a record so that if something happens, I have the majority of my information and I'm not just caught running without any information because you guys are down or, welcome to the internet in the universe, and it actually goes down. So I would recommend, I'm asking you all, let's get the word out. Let's see what we can do to have my customer app changes, some things like that. So a couple things that I do to do customer service. I would have to say the two things that I think that have moved it's a given. Well, almost, nothing's a given. But like 2 years ago, I was done with Queen of Sales before we went to leadership. Last year, I was doing some other things, but I was still done by March. So no, I'm not in the top 20, but I also, most of the time, I'm not scrambling selling $5,000, $6,000 my last month just to make sure I have a diamond ring. I'm not saying I've never done that. I just haven't done it recently. So a couple things that I think actually turned up my game that made a difference with my customers. What I find is customer loyalty is what I am actually seeking. That I don't know about you, I'm out meeting people. I want to meet them and I want reorders because that just ups the whole game. So one of the things, and this is not from me. I originally learned it from my national Julia Mundy Gardner. It is called Christmas Bucks. And so let's see what we can do to convince my camera. There it is. It was there. Christmas Bucks. It is a loyalty rewards program. So basically for every $10 they spend with me, they get a Christmas buck. And then they can spend their Christmas bucks with me in person when I do my holiday open houses. So they have got to come see me. So I make sure I give them envelopes. I can give these files if you guys want them, but basically it says something to the effect, my husband always tells me I'm a great customer. LOL, I absolutely love it when a store regularly purchases from sends me a gift card or a special. And as a new VIP client of mine, you'll be receiving my Mary Kay Christmas bucks with me for every order you place, $1 for every 10 you spend. There are times I even may have extra bucks, and stay tuned for those. So what I might do extra bucks is, like if I seriously need a hostess, I will be offering her double Christmas bucks if she is doing a hostess program for me. If there's something like I'm really pushing for, people know that this is basically cash and they know that they can spend it. So it's bribery money, like that. And then of course I talk about, so the thing is, when I give them their order, I give them their Christmas bucks. I give them, I don't care if they come back in the envelope or not. but I entrust them and I say that. So here's the deal. Okay, congratulations, Tara. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, I count all them out to them. And I go, ooh, thank you for buying your repair kit. So excited. Now, the thing is, these are yours. Just like a gift card, these are yours. So you get to, I'm giving you an envelope. If you want to put them in the envelope, great, wherever you want to store it. Some people put them in their makeup drawer. Some people attach it to the refrigerator. But now you are in charge of this. You are in charge of this. And so then when you come to my holiday open house, you get to bring it to me. And then this is going to spend like cash. So you already got $20 to spend at our open house. Aren't you excited? Free money. I love free money. So I talk it up like that. So now they are buying in and they have their money. So that is one thing that I think has totally upped it, because even if they spend only $10, they get one. They buy an eye makeup remover, they get two. So everybody wins with this. And then they bring it back. A lot of times I may also, if I have a new customer or a referral, I will count that. I said, oh, Tara, thank you for referring me to Amy. Here's 5 extra Christmas bucks for referring me. So a lot of times I will pay it in Christmas bucks in addition to samples and things like that. The second thing, and all of you guys know this, is the buy 50, get the half to off item. That was also one of those things that upped it. I know that everybody in the Bible study is real familiar with that. Use it, use it, use it, use it. I also, with that, I make sure that my customers know what it is. So when I'm sending them out orders early in the month or reaching out to them, and Tara, and I'll get to a moment about when I'm reaching out to my customers, I will simply say, hey, FYI, if you don't know, but this is my special for the month, buy 50 and you get to choose a half off item off of this sheet. So I just keep reminding people. I mean, all kinds of stores tell us about sales. I don't run 10, 20, 30% off. I don't do that even in June to run production. I will do the up the ante, like here, buy 50, you might get 2 half off items. Or if I'm clearing my shelf, you know, sometimes I do a special. If somehow I've got my inventory's gotten whacked, I might do a special on here. These are bonus half off items and I'll add them. Oh, so, okay. The other thing that I think, and I'm 99% sure that you do this, but if you don't do it, add to it, do it. I am always throwing samples in their bags, their reorder bags, and I'm always putting a lookbook in there because sometimes people do lose their lookbooks. Sometimes by handing it to one customer, they're going to hand it to another customer to increase our referrals. But most of all, it is the samples that I am throwing in there, or sample cards, places I get sample cards. Some of it I do from Peony Printing. Some of it I do actually from some of the vendors that have the cute little cards. I don't think it totally matters what the cards are. It's, are you giving people stuff for free for them to try? Are you kind of keeping track of what it is that they're on? Also love spraying the tissue paper, that if they're not already on our perfumes or on our colognes, I love spraying the tissue paper. So I take my samplers, my sample perfume bottles that I have for my vendor events, and then I'll just grab one and I'll just spray, and then I'll stuff the tissue paper in the bag as I go to do a delivery. So I don't know what other questions. Okay, now let's talk about how do I do virtual? What do I do with my customers? So when I get a new customer, I have them register on the My Customer app, the white and pink My Customer app, and connect with me. And then, because that helps give the information that it ties over to our My Customer app. Does that make sense? I think so. So I have them register on that app and it ties to that app. All of my sales are registered in that app. I also record my personal products in there. So one of my customers, their last name is Use, their first name is Personal. They're kissing cousins to last name use, first name business. So business, I'm tracking if I'm pulling product for vendor events, am I pulling product for my borrow roll-up bag? And then personal use is just that. It's what's our family using for our products. So it's just a way for me to track so that at the end of the year, then I just run the report and I run the report and say, hey, this is how much I've used for personal. This is how much I've used for business for my tax person. So speaking of reports, I am assuming, and I know that is always a lovely, great word that we're doing with that. But there are some reports we can run on our phone that we can't run on InTouch, my customers. And there's some reports on my customers InTouch that you can't run on your phone. So there's two different places that you can run reports. And some of these I run for different reasons to let you know. So let's talk about the ones off the phone first, the ones that I use to help me in my daily business when it comes to reaching out and talking to people. So when it comes to creating reports, first thing that you need to know about reports. Reports are ran for orders that are no longer in a pending status. So sometimes if I am in an order and like I haven't ran their credit card yet, if it's one of those that they owe me a payment plan, that the husband may not know what they're all paying me. So I leave those orders up in my pendings so that my brain doesn't remember who has paid and who hasn't paid. If I have stored credit cards that I'm doing the delivery and I haven't ran their credit cards yet, I leave all of that up in pending. So that's just kind of like my holding, what do I need to remember about this order? So that is just, for me, that is just one of those things that I do. So to move it, you mark it complete. And then in your orders, you're going to notice that it has the completed orders. So when you run a report, your order has to, and you want the most accuracy, your orders have to be not hanging out and pending. You have to have resolved them to completed before the reports work well. If you have questions on that, let me know to help make that happen. Okay, so now if we're going into reports, so the customer sales detail summary, what it does, it lists the customer date and their order type. So that if you run it, so let's say I want to start this starting July 1. I'm going to go back, let's say I want to run it for June. So I'm going to go, and this is actually a report that I run, June 1 through June 30th, 2024. Select customers. I'm going to say go ahead and select all my options. It does also look on the phone. It is also looking at customers that you have, if you haven't deleted them, if you have just archived them, they're still out there. Okay, so they're going to run in your reports just to not let you know, depending on what you're asking. Do you want guest checkouts? Yes. And then you get an option. Do you want this as a PDF or a spreadsheet? I love spreadsheets because spreadsheets are Excel spreadsheets. And that means then I can manipulate and do stuff with the numbers if I want to, if I want it slightly different formatted, or if I'm trying to do something with it. So spreadsheet, run report. And so on here, it's going to give me, in this report, it gives me the customer name, it gives the date of the order. Did I do it out of my inventory? Did I do a CDS, or did they do an easy ship? So it tells me exactly what it did. What was the estimated retail sales? Did I discount it in any way? So if you included the discount in the calculations, like you bought the half off item, you put it down in the discount totals, it'll run that for you. Did you pay for any of the shipping and handling? So is there, are there adjustments? Tells you how much your sales tax is. And then if you tracked, did they pay? Now, of course, reports are only as smart as the information you put into it. So if you're not tracking, did they pay cash? Did they pay check? Did they pay credit card? Did they pay Zelle? If you didn't write that in there, well, the report can't tell you that because reports are only as smart as what you're giving them. So some of these you're going to notice I say, and some, well, I apparently did. So it goes and it says, hey, for that month, so total sales for that month, this is where I'm going to say, I can compare it in a second. So it says, how much was my retail sales? FYI, I think you probably know that working off this also auto generates it over to your weekly accomplishment sheets. You can manipulate it there, but the information of the customers that were there that you did actual sales tickets on, all of that is automatically sent over to your weekly accomplishment sheet. So you're not having to handwrite everything. It just, it all follows through very smoothly through that. So the reason I generate this report is now I can look back at, well, what customers should I be doing my follow-up with? So as I reprint out these reports, Tara, you were asking, how do I know who to call? Well, I have my June report, I have my May report. If I haven't already printed it, I can just go back and generate it. So, hey, it is July. Who ordered from me January 1st through January 31st? I haven't. I can check and see, okay, they ordered in January. I'm looking through these names and numbers, like, do they sound vaguely familiar to me? Like, I think I filled out an order on them since then, or have I not actually heard from them in 6 months? And if I haven't heard from them in 6 months, hey, just check in with you, Christmas in July, checking in on how you're doing in the hot weather. So most of the time, when I'm making phone calls, I truly believe that my customers are my friends. Some are closer friends than others. So when I'm making the follow-up phone calls, I am just asking friend questions. Hey, how are you? Making the notes, how are your grandkids? How are your kids? Are your kids out for the summer? Did they get to go camp again this year? Are they playing basketball? So yeah, I'm making those notes. So Tara, like you said, yes, it's important that we have some place to keep the notes. Like I said, I try to have as little of paper as possible. I think in the grand scheme, the thing that would make me the saddest if it ever blew up was my text message threads. Because my text message, I don't know how many centuries, I'm kind of old, because I've had this phone number for a long time. And as my text messages, I don't delete them. Well, I'm not saying I don't delete anybody, but as a general rule, I keep them out there so that even when I'm doing vendor leads, I mean, it's hilarious. Probably my favorite story about this is, when I go out to meet people several years ago, I did a vendor event at the kids' local high school, meeting the people. Some of the kids would come up and meet me. And wouldn't you know, lo and behold, 2 years ago, when I was introduced to my now son's wife, and she gave me her phone number, we cracked up because I had reached out to her like 5 years before because she had stopped at my Mary Kay booth and had, put her name and number down. We never went, we didn't, she had said, no, thank you. And I said, no problem. Have a great day. But we were laughing because I actually had her phone number. I knew it was Carolyn, but I didn't know it, but I had kept that text message. So just, some fun humor. So that gives me an idea of who, as I'm doing my customer care calls, what are some logical places to be doing my customer care calls? So that's one place I do customer care. I go back and look 3 and 6 months back, ordering. The other thing that I do is I will also, because I'm making notes either in my phone, in the text, because usually when I leave a message, so I'll say, hey, Tara, this is Mary with Mary Kay. I hope life is going well. I know you just went through a move and life has been a little stressful. Let me know I'm continuing to pray for you. If there's anything you need, know that I'm here as your beauty consultant, but just loving and taking care of you. Hope you're doing great. Would love to hear from you. But so that's my voicemail. Then I do follow up with text. Hey, Tara, just FYI, I just left you a voicemail. Would love to hear from you. because now it's documented in my phone that I did a phone call. Okay, so that's one of the ways that I track that. And then, like I said, I try to make notes in the notes section that I've done that. The other way that I follow up or look to follow up with people, I'm starting to do this because we're going to roll in PCP next month. I start doing it because I have about 300 customers, quote unquote, on my customer base. I'm also looking like, when was the last time they ordered from me? When was the last time I heard from them? So, if it's been 2 to 3 years and I haven't heard from them or they haven't ordered, I will admit I'm less likely to send them a lookbook. Like, if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. You can just admit it. But before I take them off, I do make a phone call and say, hey, Jenny, just FYI, I know it's been a couple of years since you ordered from me, which is all well and great. Do you still want to receive a lookbook from me? I don't mind sending them. And I know that they're fun to look through, but if you really don't want them, or they're just going in the trash, or you've moved, just let me know. And there's no reason for us to just keep filling the landfill. So a lot of times, if somebody really doesn't want the book with a comment like that, I do hear back from them. And I say, hey, great, no problem. I'll just put you in my archive customers. If you ever need it, you got my number. I'm here from you. Pray you're doing awesome. My theory is, I know how awesome this product works. If people want to use it, great. If they don't, they can wrinkle. So I guess that's a little bit of my too, that if they don't want to play with me, that they're the ones losing out. I'm not. Okay. Other questions. Let me think. Other reports. So that's one of the reports I run. I run that report from my phone. On your Mary Kay InTouch, of course, you can run birthdays and anniversaries. That is also a great excuse. If you don't happen to have somebody's birthday or anniversary, that is a great reason to call them. Hey, FYI, I'm updating my Mary Kay records, and I don't see that I have your birthday or anniversary, and that's a month that I send out discount coupons, and I'm sorry, I don't have you part of the club. What can I have the month and day of your birthday? And if somebody doesn't have a wedding anniversary, I have anniversaries of when they became my customer. So I'm celebrating how many years they have been with me. So I try to make sure everybody has at least two dates of special dates that we can celebrate. And that is a report that I get off InTouch. So I'm hoping this information helps. If there's other questions, so the other reason that I love doing my sales slips off my computer, I think you guys have come to the conclusion, Mary doesn't like paper. Mary doesn't like paper. But I do know, like, some of my customer loves getting receipts. I like to include, some of my customers only want electronic receipts, so I just email them. Some love having a paper receipt in their bag. So how do I do this? So we're going to pick on this last customer. When she gave me her order, you can email them a receipt. Okay, so from your app, you can email them a receipt. Then when you go to your sent items, you're going to see their receipt as a sent item in your sent items, because when Mary Kay sends a receipt, they're sending it on your behalf. So remember, you gave them an email address. So it's going to appear in your sent email file on your phone. Well, my email's on my phone. So I'm making an assumption your email's on your phone. So I go to my sent emails, and I'm sure this would work on your computer as well. I do like most of my business off my phone. So then I go to my sent emails, I go down and I say print, and then it goes to the printer, and in a second you're going to hear it generating, and it prints me an email. A couple things that I love about it, and I'll go grab this off the printer in a second after it comes out. I love it because it does actually give a photo of what product they bought, what color it is. I love this because then they can play match and tell. I have a fair amount of seniors in my customer base, and sometimes they just forget what they ordered or why they ordered or what they want to do. I can also, sorry, let me grab that off my printer. See, isn't that cool? It said that, you know, she bought the red lip liner and the finishing spray, and it gave them pictures of both of it and the cost. And then if there was a discount involved, it'd be right there. So I love this. I usually fold it up. I usually write a handwritten note on it. Brainy idea that I just come across. My brain went, wait, why don't you? The other thing you could do is you could spray the receipt. Just a thought. I would spray it with the same scent you're going to do a tissue paper. I don't know that I'd be having competing scents on that or anything like that. And just say, hey, thanks for the sweet scent of your support, and the receipt's consent. So just a thought, ideas like that. So I hope I answered your questions. If not, you guys know how to get a hold of me. I love being in support with you all. I cannot wait for those of you guys who are in Diamond. I cannot wait to cheer with you at seminar. I'm looking forward to seeing us all at leadership back here in Texas and San Antonio. Thanks for being a part of my support system. Thanks for just being there. I love you all to the moon, and absolutely, I will be talking to you soon.